welcome back. I decided to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. Um, I got half of them in there, two on this side, two on this side, and I got the rings, the upper and lower rings for each one, each gap to the specific cylinders, and I'm gonna show what I did to put the rings and connecting rods on the pistons. And put the bearings and the connecting rods, push it in with the ring compressor, and yeah, so I'll show one of them, and because it takes a minute, I'll show one of them, and then it'll be done, and then move on to the next thing. Like I was saying, I did 4 of them. I'm gonna show how to do one of them because they're all the same. Make sure that you know which way that this is going to be oriented, up, or they're all going to be the same way. So first thing first, I'm going to put one of these clips in. These clips, one on each side of the piston that holds the connecting rod pin. And I looked up and found that the easiest way to do it is to stretch these out like a spring. Not too much because you don't want to break them. Stretch them out and put them in there. It's going to take a little bit of effort. Alright, once you get it in there, you want to make sure that it gets in the groove all the way around. And I'm going to hold off on the next one. Let's see. Get the next rod. I've already cleaned these. You got to clean all the machining oil grease off of them. The beveled side goes towards the crank journal, and the flat side goes towards the other connecting rod that shares the journal. So remember, it's going to be like this. And since this is the even side, it's going to be over. You're going to want the journal side that way, so it's going to go in like that. Push it all the way to the other side so you can get the other clip in. This shouldn't be caught up on anything, it should be free moving. Same thing with this clip. That one wanted to play better. Make sure that it's in there all the way. And there you go. Connecting rod on. Piston corrected facing the correct way. the beveled side is going towards the crank journal wall, and I'm gonna put the rings on. You want to start? I start with the bottom because they're going on like this. Start with the bottom one, then the second, then the top. I have these oil ring support rails which go underneath the oil ring. The reason for these oil ring support rails is it's to stop the other rings, to stop these rings that go around the oil ring, because when it runs, the engine runs, it moves around, and I guess sometimes these rings can get pushed down. It can go down like this and cause all sorts of problems. I don't know how, but anyway. I've never used these bottom rings supports, but it seems like a good idea if that's a possibility right there. Just an extra piece. It's got this dimple. You want the dimple facing down, and you want it in this gap right here where the connecting rod pin is. You go dimple in this gap. Next, you want to put this piece in, because it has, you can kind of see, it's got a little lip right here and on the other side that catches the rings. So you want, I think, pretty sure the rest of them, I put the gap towards the top. The gap in this ring towards the top. And then the first ring goes on the bottom. You want that. I put the other ones where the gap was at a 45, basically right along this line, where it's right here. There, and then the top one is on the other side. So I got the one on this side and then the other on this side. Ish. Close. Okay, then I got like I said, my two rings are gapped for specific pistons. So I have my top ring, which goes on last, and my bottom ring. Now the bottom ring is gapped a little bit bigger than the top ring. I believe it's 0.04 times your bore size. No, it's 0.045 for the second ring for the bore size, and 0.004 for the top ring. But I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna post it somewhere on the screen. This one, I put the gap on the bottom. The second ring, this has a little dimple, and that's the marking to let you know that it's the top. But it says if it has a bevel on the inner edge, the bevel goes down. But it's that the marking supersedes. The marking is more important than the bevel. Anyway, so that the marking goes up. The gap, the second ring goes to the bottom. To the bottom. So this is the top. Goes to the bottom. First top ring. Top ring has the size of the ring. This is the top. And yeah, the gap goes to the top. Double check. Gap on top. Second ring, gap on bottom. Third ring, oil ring. Comes together on the top. One ring on this side, other ring on this side. I'm going to put these bearings in. Bearing pack. Got the other 4 sets. The next 4 pistons, they're all the same. Got to clean off machining oils. You want the surfaces between the outside of your bearing and the connecting rod to be completely dry. You don't want anything in between them, because you don't want them moving. It's got a little notch. See? Just match them up. They should click into place. Other side. Same thing. Notch, notch. Okay, now I put the compressor on. You want to put it up. You don't want to put it all the way in like this, because it won't do its thing. So it's got its own little tool. You want to get the piston started in there. You want to get it tight. That's good enough. Remember bevel. The beveled side towards the crankshaft journal. I've been putting a crankshaft, been spinning it so the journal is furthest point from me. And get nice rubber mallet. Make sure it's going in straight. Grab the connecting rod on the bottom and just tap it in. Nice and easy. come off when you pass the rings. Put the cap on, put the bolts on. I've been putting the bolts on and then torquing them to about 40 pounds. They're supposed to be, what are they supposed to be? So I have 7/16 by 1.8 ARP 8740. It should be at 63 foot-pounds. Torque bolts in 2 steps to recommended torque. So I'm putting them to 40, and then when I get them all in, I'll hit them again to go to 63.